I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. MAGA Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene holds a seat on the very powerful Homeland Security Committee in the House of Representatives. She was given that seat by MAGA Republican Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. And today, during a Homeland Security Committee hearing, where the witness was Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, Marjorie Taylor Greene was banned from asking further questions of Secretary Mayorkas after she impugned his integrity, and a ruling was actually made by the chair of the Homeland Security Committee, a Republican by the name of Mark Green, and he even had enough of her antics. And some of the reporting is that he was so embarrassed and humiliated by the way she was acting during the hearing, the Homeland Security Committee hearing on Wednesday, that he wants her to be permanently removed. He hasn't taken any action yet to make that happen, but the reporting is that she continues to just humiliate him. And that's what you get when the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, puts performative fascist BS over the actual homeland security of our country. And so this hearing before Alejandro Mayorkas began with Marjorie Taylor Greene saying some heinous and despicable things about Congressman Eric Swalwell. And Congressman Eric Swalwell was just going over with Alejandro Mayorkas some of the language, the despicable language, by the House Judiciary Committee's social media account, where they praised Kanye West and Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene, went to Eric Swalwell and said, well, you had sex with a Chinese spy. You just watch what happens in this clip. I mean, it is some real disgusting stuff. Play the clip.
Was kept up for months after Kanye West said that he was going to declare DEFCON 3 on the Jews. Mr. Secretary, do you believe that all of us have a responsibility to elevate our rhetoric and to denounce anti-Semitism and anti-police rhetoric in this country so that Jewish Americans and police officers can be safer?
Congressman, I do.
Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields, and now I recognize the gentlelady from Georgia, Ms. Greene.
That was quite entertaining from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, and everyone knows it. But
I move to take her words down. Completely inappropriate.
Yeah, stand by just a second while we research the rule. Give me just a second.
And so you heard what the Democratic members were saying. They were saying, take her words down, take the words down. And by taking the words down, if the chair takes the words down and makes a finding that it is impugning the integrity or impugning the reputation of a member of the House of Representatives or the witness, the individual who impugned the integrity, in that case, Marjorie Taylor Greene, could be banned. But in that instance, the chairman, the Republican chairman, Mark Green, did not take the words down in a formal sense at that point. However, he did take the words down when Marjorie Taylor Greene started attacking Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and just started screaming at him and saying, you're a liar, you're a liar. I want you to watch what happens here when Marjorie Taylor Greene starts attacking Alejandro Mayorkas, Homeland Security Secretary, and you'll see the Democrats pointing out to the MAGA Republican chair and to the MAGA Republicans what the rules are. And first you'll see Benny Thompson try to explain it, and then you'll see Dan Goldman explain the rules, and then you'll see Marjorie Taylor Greene go, a point of personal privilege, and then Dan Goldman and the Democrats say, that's not a thing. You're just making up rules that don't exist. And then finally, ultimately, you'll see that the Republican chair, Mark Green, finally says, yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene is disqualified. Here, play this clip.
This outrage, complete outrage, where China is poisoning America's children, poisoning our teenagers, poisoning our young people. How long are you going to let this go on?
Congresswoman, let me assure you that we're not letting it go on. We are fighting this.
No, I reclaim my time. You're a liar. You are letting this go on, and the numbers.
Well,
no, obviously.
Actually, I want you to take the words of the speaker down.
So in making a ruling on this, it's pretty clear that the rules state you can't impugn someone's character. Identifying or calling someone a liar is unacceptable in this committee, and I make the ruling that we strike those words.
Sorry, just a point of order, it's a legitimate question.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did you move to take the words down or to strike them, Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, sorry, I just stepped in. Point of order.
Take them down.
So
That's what we did.
Yeah.
my understanding is if words are taken down, that means that the member can no longer speak in whatever the proceeding is that those words were said.
Personal inquiry, point of personal inquiry.
There's no such thing.
Stand by just a second. House, when we strike, it does terminate the time of the individual who is speaking. So the gentlelady is no longer recognized. The chair now recognizes Mr. Ivey, I believe.
Can I make a point of inquiry, Mr. Chairman?
You can.
So the ruling was that because she used the word liar, that was taken down, which I agree with.
Yes.
But accusing
a statement of fact is very similar to the posters that Mr.
There's no statement of fact.
There's no statement of fact.
Bullshit.
There's no
statement of
factual
fact.
basis for the statement.
We're not here to debate this, okay? And the ruling was made by the chair that these previous words were not against the rules of Clause 1 and Clause 4 of Rule 17. But to tell someone that they are a liar is, it's pretty clear in the rules.
Slander is clearly covered by the rule.
And then at the end of the clip, I don't know if you caught it, but there was a Congress member named Glenn Ivey, a Democrat from Maryland. And Congress member Ivey was pointing out also, he was saying, when she said that about Eric Swalwell, you should have taken the words down there. And then the chair, Mark Green, said, basically, I'm not taking it down there, but she clearly impugned the integrity of Alejandro Mayorkas. So there, I am taking the words down. So it doesn't matter anyway. She's going to be disqualified from this committee hearing. So she was disqualified from asking further questions at that committee hearing, but she still sits on the Homeland Security Committee, although she should certainly be removed from that. And look, just look at what she's posting on her social media platform, like the most disgusting disinformation in the world. And I'm calling this out as just despicable disinformation by her. And again, this is someone who is the leader of the MAGA Republican Party. This is someone who Kevin McCarthy has put on the powerful Homeland Security Committee. And I'm not even going to show you her video because it's just despicable disinformation. But I want to read for you so you can just see the disgusting and despicable conspiracy theories, because we need to call out this disinformation. She goes, the Biden crime family participated in human trafficking by soliciting prostitutes from the United States and abroad in countries like Russia and Ukraine. There is an entire crime enterprise wrapped around Joe Biden and his family. GOP oversight has a much bigger investigation. Like, that is the face of who the MAGA Republicans are today. That is the face of what the Republican Party has become. And it's so shameful, so disappointing. But I don't want to end it on that note. I don't want to end this video on that low, despicable, disgusting note. I want to end it on a high point. This is Joe Biden giving a speech on Wednesday where Joe Biden explains that, look, MAGA Republicans, they're threatening to default on national debt unless I agree to these wacko notions. Watch this powerful speech by President Biden. Play this clip.
But folks, here's what's really dangerous. MAGA Republicans in Congress are threatening to default on the national debt. The debt that took 230 years to accumulate overall, unless we do what they say. They say they're going to default unless I agree to all these wacko notions they have. Default would be worse than totally irresponsible. It would mean cuts in Social Security and Medicare, higher interest rates for things like credit cards, car loans, mortgages. Working people, middle class, seniors would pay the price for the entire economy would be at risk. America's never defaulted on our debt, which has accumulated over 200 years. Let's remember, the last administration alone increased the national debt by 40% in 4 years, yet every single year they passed the debt limit. Every single year.
And here President Biden says, take default off the table. You want to have a real serious conversation? Like, let's talk like adults here, but enough with this wacko talk. Here, play this clip.
America is not a deadbeat nation. We meet our obligations. And I made clear to Speaker McCarthy about how we should proceed to settle our differences. No one should do anything to jeopardize the full faith and credit of the United States of America. Instead, I'm making threats of default if I don't go along with what they want, which would be catastrophic to the country. If we don't do it, they say they're going to let default take place. Take default off the table. And let's have a real serious, detailed conversation about how to grow the economy, lower costs, and reduce the deficit.
You know, when calling out and exposing all of this MAGA Republican nonsense, it is important to remember, though, and reflect the normalcy that's in the White House, the normalcy of this administration. Like you, I refuse to be gaslit by large media networks that try to normalize the behavior of the modern day Republican Party. They are an extremist right-wing movement now that bears no resemblance to the Republican Party that may have once existed. May, I put an asterisk next to that. But in the pro-democracy community, we welcome former Republicans, independents, people not affiliated with political parties, people who heck consider themselves conservatives. But conservatism isn't this weird fascist stuff that's going on in the Republican Party. We could have a big tent conversation about important issues on the pro-democracy team. Liberals, progressives, people not affiliated with political parties, independents, conservatives. If we love the country, let's have serious adult conversations. But this MAGA Republican nonsense needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Now hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. So please hit subscribe. Also, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. If you want to become a member there, it helps grow this platform, but no worries if you can't. Wherever you get your audio podcast as well, make sure you subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast as well. It's free to subscribe to the podcast, so just search MeidasTouch Podcast. All right, hit subscribe on this YouTube channel. It's free to subscribe. Let's grow this platform to 1.5 million subscribers by this summer. Let's see if we can do it together. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben Meiselas. Have a great day.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.